Hello, Internet. I'm Insane Lane, as well as a Canadian girl. And as you can hear, I'm still recovering from all the cold, flu, whatever that's going around. So sorry if I still sound scratchy. This is my second time watching this video because I was halfway through and realized the puppy I was holding had hit the mute button. And nobody could hear me because he's a fucking brat. But that's why he's no longer in my arms and will not be appearing in this video. Maybe next time if he can behave himself. He does know not to push the buttons and stuff. He just is a brat. Wants all my attention on him. So let's see. We got. I failed to notice the really nice Jeep before. I will say that is a nice car. But I was only about 3 minutes into the video. Other than that, I haven't seen it. So I'll try to remember what I said. But I will say, officer comes in hot and annoying.
Sorry, I'm not she called me up here, but I'm not
Who jumped on the bus?
I did.
Who's trying to go to jail? You are.
I'm not going to jail.
Okay.
If you're
Threatening my
getting
dog.
on the bus and you're told to get off the bus and you refuse, that's called trespass.
Okay, officer, would you like to try this thing called listening?
ID card, please.
It's in my car.
Go get it. Go get it. I'm giving you a lot.
Okay, I'm fully with this woman's face. This officer's being a biatch right from the beginning. She has no right to be coming up here like this. She's already decided that this woman is the problem and that's it. When this lady has just said the bus driver was threatening my child. So there is two sides to every story. Even if they're the same, and in this case they're not. There's two sides to every story, officer, and part of your job is to investigate and to listen. So instead of talking down to this woman and condescendingly saying, go get it, how about you listen for a minute and then get on with things and try getting that tone out of your voice because it shouldn't be there.
Lawful order, I'm only going to give to you one.
Like, this cop's already decided.
No, I'm going to speak to the complainant.
She has already decided how this is going to go, so she's not investigating, she's not listening, she's not doing her job at all.
Okay. Hey, buddy, you okay? Okay. Who wants to get off the... Hey, guys, it's okay. It's okay. Hey, where's your bus stop?
Her daughter got in trouble the other day.
Okay.
And that's all.
You got your ID?
Yeah, notice how the bus driver's just sitting there like this, looking mean and evil, not trying to comfort any of the kids. And officer, that's all you're going to ask? This lady said the driver threatened her child. How about you ask about that?
Right now because of your actions. Explain it to me.
That's my child.
Okay.
She's
not more important than the rest of these children on this bus.
Do you want me to explain
Okay,
it? Or you want to
cop really is an idiot.
Because I know what rights I have and what rights
Do you?
I
don't think that you do if you're jumping on a school bus and not getting off when
Not
you're
productive.
She's in such a hurry.
because I'm going to have a
I've been
conversation
down
with
here
her to
all
see
of
if she
3
wants to press charges. No, ma'am, I've been en route to you for 7 minutes, so you've been here longer than that. The bus barn manager called
me.
and I came from down near Navarre School Road to get here. 3 minutes. No, that's
I'm
false.
not having anybody scream the way she is screaming at these kids.
Then deal with it through the school.
I
like
have
a
tried
normal
to call them.
well,
They're not answering the phone.
Then drive up
She's
there.
calling me and telling me that she's getting headaches from that woman screaming. I know kids are a pain in the ass. You couldn't pay me enough money to be a bus driver, but I'm not going to have her. I came up here very respectfully and I asked her, what's the issue? What is my daughter doing? Because she's not always forthcoming with information.
Correct.
So I asked her and she said, well, your daughter's crying. Immediately, yes, I get defensive and pissed off because of how she's coming off. I'm respectful and asking, hey, I know she's not always truthful, so what is she doing so I can handle her?
Okay, so we have mom being quite a good mom here. One of the few parents that's willing to admit my kid is not perfect, and sometimes my kid is the problem. So at least she tried to ask the bus driver, okay, if my kid is a problem, like, tell me what is going on. And if you get told, oh, your kid is crying, well, my question there is going to be, why is she crying? Is she crying because you're screaming at them like every time, bus driver? Because that's what the kids are saying. And the fact that, again, the bus driver's sitting there looking sour-faced instead of trying to comfort any of these kids, I fully believe the children that, yeah, this driver yells at them, screams at them every day. I fully believe that because I grew up taking school buses. I've had drivers like that who should have retired a long time ago because they can't handle it. Because kids, guess what? Kids, especially this age, they're going to be loud. They're going to be noisy. They're going to jump around. They're going to change seats. They're going to pass notes. They're going to do spitballs at the back of your head because they can and they're bored. You know, they're going to leave chip bags and lunch bags and shoes and mitts, nats, and everything else all over the bus. That's what it is. If you can't handle that, get a different job, but do not yell and scream at them to be quiet, sit down, shut up, whatever, all day. Because I suspect that is what happened here, and this mom is pissed off. She's not having it. I'm fully on her side about that. She said she tried to call the school. Should she have maybe tried a few more times or like tried going to the whoever runs the buses? Yes. Is coming down here and making a scene with the bus driver the right thing to do? No. No, not at all. But do I understand her doing it? Yes. And does this cop need to show a lot more understanding and empathy? Yes. Like, officer, do you need to be told you don't work for the school system? You're supposed to be like the neutral arbiter here. But I'm seeing you be very biased and you've already decided this lady's the problem and you don't care that the bus driver is also a problem.
The woman is a flat out bitch.
So tell me at what point you decide it makes sense to jump on the bus, yell at her, and make children cry, and refuse to get off.
That's not me. I don't know why the sound is cut out. I'm going to guess personal information, maybe.
Okay. Again, there are ways to handle it. This is not it. Okay. So.
Officer is right about that.
Charges,
okay, and the blur just went completely off the kid's face. I can't fix that.
Understand.
I get that. Okay. They won't answer the phone.
Then drive up there instead of coming up here and upsetting 20 other people's children.
Not every child on that bus.
Listen, I just looked at them.
They're not crying.
Okay, I said 19 children.
Why are they getting off?
Did
somebody come pick them up?
They're overly sensitive.
Well, you can help your actions as a grown adult.
Right, and that's my child, and I will protect
Then handle it
when I need
school.
to. If they would have answered the
Go to the school if you have that much
phone
power.
number, a different number. She refused to give it to me.
Is this Dad?
We jumping on the school bus, acting a fool, and not getting off when we're instructed to get off, which is called trespass after warning.
Okay, officer, do you understand this woman at all? She's telling you she was defending her child. Again, not saying this woman is in the right to do what she did. She's not in the right. But this cop is being a jerk. She's being such a bitch herself. Like, show the least amount of freaking understanding and empathy, and this woman is going to calm down. This is one of those situations where nobody needs to be arrested, but I'm willing to bet this woman gets arrested just because the cop is annoyed by her, and when she rolled up, had already decided that she was going to arrest this woman for what she did. Again, that's within the law. It shouldn't be. It's ridiculous, but that's what I predict is going to happen. And again, everyone's ignoring the fact that the bus driver is also in the wrong and is a problem here, you know, because we're deciding to focus that a parent actually stood up for their child, which more parents should. Her daughter was getting bullied. She said, no, you're not, and did something about it. She went about it the wrong way, but I applaud her for doing it.
She's telling me your daughter
is lying. You got your ID on you, babe?
Yes, sir. I did all that 3 times now.
Yeah, officer, would you like to ask the bus driver about that? Would you like to ask her, were you yelling at the kid? Did you tell this woman that her child was crying? But no, the cop's not going to do any of that because she's already decided what her narrative is, and she's not going to ask any questions that might challenge that.
Yeah, if the kids get in trouble, 122 cents. Probably the bus driver by Florida DLC.
So what? The driver just said, oh, this one just smiled at me. So what? Are you that petty? Like, I fully believe this woman does nothing but scream and yell at these kids the whole trip.
What you want to do with this? Are you good with walking away with it and handling it through the school?
Yes, that's how it should be handled.
Okay. I'm not. Okay. No different.
Okay.
She's just been in extra trouble lately.
Okay.
That's all right, Dylan. I don't need to come up here with another bus.
Third graders.
Yes, so that's why you were yelling at them, right?
Yeah, no, I couldn't do that. All right, guys, you ready to go home? So you don't want to go to ice cream with me then? Cool. You guys have.
Okay,
I'm
do
just
not
kidding.
tease
Now you're
kids
gonna
with
go home,
ice
okay?
cream.
All right.
Unless you have ice cream, don't
Cool.
play the ice cream card. That's just mean. And so she's gonna tell the bus to leave because they got to get these kids home.
So
But the driver said she doesn't want to press charges, so I don't know if that's her call though. It might not be. Like it might be policy of the bus company that
I'm not exaggerating. Try to shut me in the damn door.
they always press charges, etc. Like Walmart, I think, has that policy for
I
shoplifting.
need you to understand what potentially happened, all right? So,
I think some of the kids are just walking home.
handle it through the school, all right?
That's all I asked for was the phone number. So I
Well, you can Google stuff on it.
okay. They're not. They transfer me to a voicemail.
But all of our children can be a little sick, right? But I responded to a disturbance because the parent jumped on the bus and refused to get off. So that's
Give me the number, and she tried to shut me in the damn door 5 seconds after I'm asking her. Okay, maybe 10.
okay.
After I'm asking her, what did my daughter
I do not like that this officer just
I don't.
completely took one side of the story and nothing else.
Bus driver.
Yeah, no, I can.
I couldn't do it. But she doesn't need to be such a bitch. And I'm a parent. I'm trying to fix the problem that I've been called about. But yet I'm getting shut in the damn bus door.
Go to the school. All right.
Okay, so
Upon further
if she
investigation
drives
of
away,
viewing
everything's
footage,
good.
Officers found probable cause to charge the woman with interference of school functions and trespassing. She was later served an arrest warrant and taken to jail.
What a waste of time.
I'm doing well. Can I talk to you?
Wow. Oh, there's still, wow. Okay, I thought we were at the end of the video. There's still like 6 minutes of this left. Wow. Okay, so even though the cop wasn't a jerk and didn't fully do her job, in my opinion, the resolution was fine. Everybody walks away. You know, we've all behaved better, but let's not make a big ridiculous deal out of this when we don't need to. But no, apparently higher powers decided no, we need to make a big ridiculous deal out of this. So now they're coming to arrest this woman for interference with, what did they say? Interference with a school function? That sounds like a law they made up just so they could arrest people for like not having exact change. So let's see. Again, nice car. I'm liking the wheels. They're too snazzy for me. I wouldn't have them, but nice car. But I'm willing to bet this woman throws a bit of a fit because I certainly would. I would not be going quietly with this absolute garbage. And I'd be saying, "Are you okay? Are you going to arrest the bus driver for abusing the children by screaming at them every day?" Because I'm sure that was on those videos too. Like I'm assuming when they say there was video, it has to be a camera inside the bus, right? Like where else would there have been a camera? They were on the side of the road. I can't remember if our school bus. I think towards when I was in middle school, high school, they did.
How you doing, sir?
But the cameras were, shall we say, like not reliable. And I don't think they had audio.
Yeah, just 1 second.
But we didn't have like GPS even back then. That's so ridiculous. Oh, it's Halloween.
You have anything on you right now?
Nope. I figured that's what it might be.
It's
Yeah, I
ridiculous.
tried to talk to y'all through the camera, but with all that banging from the house.
Oh, we didn't even hear. I heard the camera turn on, but we didn't hear any voices.
Yeah.
All right, so you good to go?
Can he scoot out with our little boy first so he doesn't?
Oh, yeah, no, don't worry, yeah.
Just 1
Do you
second.
want to tell him or I can tell him?
I'm telling you.
At least they're being cool. Like, and I get her. You don't want your kids to see these things because they don't understand. You know, especially if they're little, they don't know how to process, and you know it can leave them with like long-term bad thoughts. You don't want that.
What is this? What should go trespass on the school grounds, which is the bus, and interrupting a school function by not letting the bus driver leave with the kids in the bus.
I'm sorry, that's absurd.
So it's 2 misdemeanor charges with a bond of $5,000, which you can verb charge $2,500 total. And you can post a bond of 10% with a cash bondsman, or if you can pull the whole $5,000. So that's what the total bond is.
That amount of like bond for what they're saying is 2 misdemeanors. It's like that's a lot. I'm seeing like bail set at like $50 for
So it doesn't
way
have to
worse.
be us telling her a trespass warning. For 15 minutes, she's on video with the school bus driver saying, "Leave my bus, leave my bus, leave my bus." That's plenty of warning. So her
Okay,
by
fair.
refusing to leave, not by our order, is that trespass? Yeah. That's a good question.
Silly. This is no. She called me. Well, I seen you guys on my house camera. I called her, and she wasn't there. And I was like, well, I need to meet you. We need to figure this out. Yeah, no problem.
I'm guessing this is the bus company having a policy that they always press charges.
So what is the process?
But it's still ridiculous.
Yeah, the booking time depends on how busy the jail is. I'd give it an hour or two, and she'll be able to call you too. It depends on what's going on at the jail. Sometimes they're packed and it takes a little bit. Sometimes I've seen it booked in a half hour. So she's going to go with us to the jail, which is right up 87.
Yeah, I know. I'll try to tell her that I just take her up there so she doesn't have to do all this.
You get a free ride. Yeah.
I've never done that, so
It's up to y'all.
call a bail bond.
Yeah, you can either post the
Yep.
5,000 straight up.
Just call them up. They
or
know what they're
10%
doing.
With a bondsman to post the rest. But yeah, y'all would Google it or call around.
But
whatever
this
you need
is
to
like
do.
ridiculous
I'm gonna have
overreaction.
to go pick my kids up or check them out of school, so I'm gonna have to go up there and deal with this.
I mean, I don't know if you'd have to check them out. What time is
Somebody
it?
watch the tiny one wandering around. Oh, he's getting in the car. Okay, good kid.
Yeah, well, they car ride since this incident.
Gotcha.
I told Dana that I didn't want to ride the bus.
Gotcha.
All right, guys. Well, then,
Right. Whatever you don't want to come with.
just put it in the car. She can't. Hey, you can't go.
She's worried about brushing her hair before her mugshot. This lady's goals, honestly. I'm so fully on her side. I hate that this nonsense is happening to her. And I hope somebody with a brain in their head saw this and dropped these charges because it's absurd.
Okay.
At least the cops are being decent with her. And the kids are gone, so they're not seeing. But they know, like, she doesn't have a weapon or anything.
Don't worry, all right? I'll come get you, okay? I'm gonna be worried to death.
She's fine. I think he's more worried than she is, which is sweet.
I love you.
Love you. Go get some cash, please.
Yeah, go, honey. Just go to the ATM, get the cash to bail me out. Because it's only noon here, so it's early in the day, so there's no reason that she shouldn't be released within like a couple of hours. Like, and all of that is the cops doing their paperwork. Because there's no way she's gonna have to like be arraigned or anything. They're like, oh, you don't have to flash us. Don't flash us. But she's clearly got nothing, so like, yeah. And if ever there's a time to cuff someone in the front, like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was when I was 16. I behaved myself a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
I know people care about their kids a lot and make sure decent stuff.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much of the video y'all saw, but
Yeah, like, did you check to see how the bus driver was behaving as well? Because I would like to know that.
Because my child loves to leave parts of stories.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll go down there with intentions of siding with the bus driver. And I was like, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on so I can, get a hold of my kids if I need it.
right.
The woman was trespassed from the school property, while the charge of interfering with school functions was later dropped. Thanks for watching today's video.
Okay, so we got a whole lot of adults acting like children there. With the mom, like I said, she shouldn't have handled it the way she did by going down there onto the bus route and confronting the bus driver. However, she did say she tried to address it through the school. She couldn't get through to them. Whether that was today or like over several days, we don't know. Again, not the right thing to do to get on the bus and yell at the driver. But I also have no doubt that the kids' claims about the driver yelling and screaming at them are completely valid. I mean, look at the way the driver is behaving when the whole bus full of kids is crying and she's just sitting there like this, with her sunglasses on, acting like it's not her problem. And she even said, like, I got a whole bunch of new third graders and they're like crazy. yeah, that's the job. If you can't handle it without yelling and screaming and making them cry, you shouldn't have the job. And the bus company should step in and do something. So I'm glad that the one charge was dropped. The trespassing is just the school covering its butt. But the whole thing's ridiculous. And I hope that the bus driver's actions were eventually investigated. Again, the first cop should have done that. And as well as her attitude just being atrocious, the condescension. Like she handled it right in the end, but the attitude was unwarranted. And also she should have asked the bus driver questions about what the girl and the parent were saying, and she failed to do that. So that puts her at, I'm giving her a C minus. I'm being generous. As for irate mother terrorizes entire school bus when she doesn't get her way, irate mother correct, terrorizes entire school bus 50-50, and when she doesn't get her way, F off with that nonsense. I'm so sick of these nonsense titles that are just clickbaity and, just putting in whatever words they can think of. There also seems to be a theme this year of making titles as long as possible because, like, every title is like 10 or 15 words now, which is absurd. Like, edit yourselves, please. But that is where we clock in on this one. What is your opinion? If your kid was being bullied by the school bus driver, what do you do? How would you have handled it? Would you go down there and confront them? Do you believe the bus driver is a bully? How do you think the first cop handled this? How do you think the parents should have handled this? And do you think the outcome of her, it sounds like basically the one charge was dropped, the other charge just said she's trespassed from the school probably for a year, you know, which I still think is, it's too much for something like this, but the school's going to do what they're going to do. But those are my thoughts. What are yours? I've been Insane Lane as well as Canadian Girl. Until the next one, take care of you, love a fur baby, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.